First, I think you've probably heard me say this. We're in the ETF era of crypto. So I think there are
Right.
going to be ETFs on a wide variety of ETPs. XRP specifically, it has a very vibrant community. It's been around for many years and sustained that community. It has a novel consensus approach that's been working at, low inflation rates, and it has interesting and evolving use cases. My general view is we are still in the early stages of crypto, and no one knows exactly how it will play out. And so we want to offer investors access to a wide variety of assets. XRP is one with a strong community and a strong track record and a strong history.
While the recently approved Bitcoin and Ethereum spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds continue to dazzle the markets, two firms have filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for spot XRP exchange traded funds. Crypto asset manager Bitwise submitted its application to the SEC on September 30th, with the aim of establishing a fund that would hold XRP in the same way its Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs do. About a week after Bitwise's announcement, crypto investment firm Canary Capital has also filed for a spot XRP ETF. According to reports, the Canary XRP ETF will track XRP's value using the CME CF Ripple dollar reference rate, a once-a-day benchmark index price for Ripple, as would the Bitwise XRP ETF, according to SEC filings. During a recent interview with Paul Barron, Bitwise CIO Matt Hougan explains why he is bullish about the XRP ETF and how he believes such a product would positively impact the overall cryptocurrency industry. According to Hougan, the XRP community is one of the most important positives to be considered, and they have consistently shown their strength even against anti-crypto regulators like the SEC. Hougan believes another legal victory is incoming, and when it comes, the SEC will have no choice but to properly look into approving a spot XRP ETF without bias. The Bitwise CIO, with decades of experience in the ETF industry, also highlights the importance of these products to help growth and development of the cryptocurrency industry in and out of the United States. As we bring you clips from the interview, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Everything you do helps boost the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
If you sort of abstract out and think about crypto big picture, it's introducing two things into the world. It's introducing sort of public money and permissionless finance, and it's
Right.
introducing public compute and smart contracts. And those are both really big breakthroughs. And XRP is interesting in that it has aspects of the public money side and also increasingly access of these sort of smart contracting style applications. I know it's not fully there, but it offers a legitimate shot on goal on those two big new introductions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the reason it's been a sustained asset. And that's the reason you see the market capitalization, which is, of course, the reason that you see it high up the list, right? It's been around and it's had staying power. I would
Right.
note there are a lot of crypto assets that have been around and are no longer in that position on the list, right? Some of the OG crypto assets, they all haven't sustained that interest to this day. And XRP is one that has, right?
Yeah.
More so than other assets you might point to. Funny thing about crypto is it's one of the only markets where people are still primarily focused on single exposures. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at the equity market or you look at the bond market, no one's buying one stock. They're buying
Mm-hmm.
a basket of stocks. No one's buying one bond. They're buying an ETF of bonds. Our view is that the same is going to be true in the crypto market. As you move from primarily retail to primary institutional capital, they're going to want diversified exposure. That's the way institutions invest. That's what they're taught in school. That's what they're taught in their careers. And that's a dominant paradigm. So I think you're going to see more of these diversified exposures, more of people wanting to make a bet on crypto and not make a bet on, Bitcoin individually or Ethereum individually. Let's just make a bet that crypto and public blockchains are going to be more important in 10 years than they are today. That's a bet I have very high confidence in. And the way you
Yeah.
would express that is a diversified portfolio. I think there's a major unlock coming in the stablecoin market. Stablecoins are a killer app of crypto. They've gone, from zero to $150 billion without regulatory clarity, if you listen to Congress, the thing they agree on most in crypto on the Democrat and Republican side of the aisle is stablecoin legislation. I
Right.
think the US wants stablecoins. It's a way to export the dollar, it's a way to sell more treasury debt, it's a way to improve finance. Big finance wants to get into stablecoins. They're looking at Tether making more money than Goldman Sachs and saying, hold on, we want a piece of this pie. So if
Mhm.
you have Wall Street, crypto, and Congress all aligned, I have a very high confidence that we're going to see breakthrough stablecoin legislation early in the new congressional season. And if we do that, I think it's Katie bar the door. I think it's
Yeah.
Bank of New York. I think it's JP Morgan. I think it's Visa. I think it's every major. And so I think $1 trillion in 2 years is probably conservative,
Conservative.
right?
Yeah.
There's $10 trillion in money market funds.
Hmm.
Stablecoins are going to be a better version of that. There's so much dollar deposit. And that's just in the US. You go globally and you can access dollars. I think $1 trillion is easy. So I would take the pro side of that poly market if it opened and if the regulators let me invest in poly market.
One thing that certainly stands between Bitwise and an approval of its XRP ETF is the ongoing legal battle between the regulator and Ripple. The lawsuit, which centers on the sale of XRP, primarily whether it is a security or a commodity, will determine if Ripple and firms like Bitwise can freely sell the cryptocurrency to investors without the SEC's intervention. Experts believe the SEC's legal battle against Ripple will follow in the footsteps of its battle with Ethereum and Consensus, which aimed to prove the largest altcoin was a security, but the regulator summarily dropped. In July last year, a judge already ruled that secondary XRP sales to retail customers did not violate securities laws, and Ripple officials are positive that the SEC's appeal will also be tossed out by the courts. While speaking with Fox Business, a spokesperson for Canary said, "We're seeing encouraging signs of a more progressive regulatory environment, coupled with growing demand from investors for sophisticated access to cryptocurrencies beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Specifically, investors seeking access to enterprise-grade blockchain solutions and their native tokens such as XRP, Hougan is just as optimistic." During his discussion with Barron, he noted that crypto has done exceptionally well when challenged by the SEC in court, with Ripple being at the very forefront of these legal victories. He is certain that this victory will be repeated if the SEC proceeds with its appeal. During the discussion, he also shared generally bullish views regarding the spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Here are more clips from the interview.
I think it's great to call those two out. I mean, look, my position, and I come from an ETF background, right? Before I moved to Bitwise 7 years ago, I ran ETF.com. So this is my home turf. These are among the most successful ETF launches of all time. I mean, the Bitcoin ETFs are the most successful of all time. They pulled in $18.5 billion in assets. That's 3 to 4 times over the previous record for the fastest growing new ETFs. So it's a grand slam. On the ETH side, you've seen a more nuanced story because you had a lot of money coming out of the Grayscale product. But if you look at the new ETPs, they're doing exceptionally well. I know BlackRock's is over $1 billion. Here at Bitwise, we're $250 million. Those are among the most successful ETF launches this year. So I think whichever way you look at it, these are a grand slam success. And the key thing I want people to know is that in ETF land, typically the first year is the weakest year. Usually the second year is bigger than the first, and the third is bigger than the second, and the fourth is bigger than the third. So this is a down payment, and it's a really big down payment. And I think actually they're going exceptionally well. Before we had spot ETFs, a bunch of firms filed to offer future-based ETFs, and we were one of them. But once you have spot ETFs, those are more efficient than futures-based ETFs. So what do you do? I obviously can't speak beyond what's in the filing, but what the filing shows is we're converting those strategies to rotate between, let's say, Bitcoin and treasuries. So if the market is in a positive momentum period where Bitcoin's price is rising and the 10-day moving average is above the 20, they'll be in Bitcoin. And otherwise, they'll be in treasuries if the market is falling. I would just say, momentum is the most established factor in all asset classes, in stocks, in bonds, in real estate, in commodities, and indeed in crypto. There's a big academic literature on that. And so we're just trying to offer a new strategy that captures that momentum aspect for people who are worried about those big pullbacks in crypto, which, quite honestly, is a lot of us. So I think this idea is to rotate out when the markets are in that position.
The SEC has up to mid-2025 before it has to make a final decision on the spot XRP ETF applications, but the results of its initial reviews are expected before the end of the year. In addition to the ETFs, Hougan is generally optimistic about the entire cryptocurrency industry, recently predicting that stablecoins AUM will top $1 trillion by the end of 2026 or even 2025 in a less conservative scenario. Do you share his optimism about a spot XRP ETF? Please drop your replies, comments, and observations in the comments section below. If you liked this video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall global economy. Thanks for watching.